All right. Go ahead.
Okay, well, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the Gulf Coast Robotics League Remote Meet number 1 kickoff. Got a few things I want to cover today, and then we'll open it up for questions from the audience. So just going to talk about the event, scoring software, remind everybody scoring the matches, a couple quick rules updates, and then spend the majority of our time around questions, topics. So the remote event, a little bit of a change from last time. It's still going to start Monday at 12 a.m. Coming up here. It will now run until Sunday night at 11:59 p.m. So we're adding another extra day for folks to do that. So given hopefully that extra day, you can get your matches run if you're planning to get together on a Sunday to do that. And that's across the entire state that they've done that. Basically, as of this morning, all the teams that were registered via the Florida FTC website are entered into the Gulf Coast League event number 1. You all should have access and be able to go onto the scoring software and enter your scores. Unlike the scrimmage, these are, quote, real matches. So please don't just enter random scores. Just it has to be a score that you've run where you've actually working a robot that's scored the match. As last time, you've got the entire week from Monday through the Sunday to submit your matches. They don't have to be all on the same day. They could be different days, different numbers. You still have the ability to run practice matches if you want to get a little practice in before you run your actual matches and kind of make sure everything's okay to do that. Like last week, we're going to do the supports can be available Monday through Friday, 7 to 9. Again, just email team support at TBTA online, and one of us that are receiving that email will work with you and find out a time to get together and set up a Zoom call, and we can go through any questions, issues you might be having of any nature, scoring software, need some help with your robot, general question, rules questions, whatever it may be to do that. Since we've had the Sunday added to the league meet this week, the statewide result celebration event will be on the 17th, so a week from this coming Thursday, and it'll be at 7 p.m. It was a really good event last time. I know we were talking mostly about remotes, scrimmage and all that, but it was a really good event. A lot of good information. Plan to have a little more interactive support this time. A few more of us are going to go over to the secret location where Andrew was transmitting from and be there to do some things. So be a good chance to kind of see you across the state. We'll do the same thing, talk about the scores. Hans will give any updates that he has in general nature. We'll review videos. That'll be the big part. And we'll have question and answer like last time. And instead of having to submit everything in the chat and us trying to respond to the chat, you can still submit in the chat, and then we'll take those and answer those live, hopefully, to do that. Again, this is what's going to be. So again, here's kind of the updated thing. Sunday, today, then the kickoff, then Monday through Sunday, we got the teams submitting their match scores, then take a couple days, and then a week from Thursday, we'll do the statewide results event. So again, biggest change right now is that we're adding Sunday in as a day that you can run matches as well. Quickly, as we mentioned before, the lead coach members should have access to the FTC scoring system. They can delegate their access to others for their team, another coach, student if they wish. So anyone who has a U.S. First account can be have that access. If you're having issues accessing the FTC scoring system, please let me know, or the rest of us will see what we can do. Everything should be okay. I'm to do that, but we'll see. You can still run your matches with paper score sheets if you want to, and then access the FTC scoring system later and put your scores. For your location to run your matches doesn't have a very reliable internet connection, or you're short on computers or things, you could do that. Take a video of any of your matches and submit them for the state-wide results show and post them to the Florida First website. I know a couple teams out of our league did last time. Also, if you got a video of your robot doing something, or how your mechanisms work, or something you and your team have been doing in terms of preparing for the match, things like that, go ahead and post those videos too. We want to know what everybody's doing, not just want to watch a bunch of matches. Not that we don't want to see matches, but we'd like to see all the other things that you're all doing too. So please, post those videos up there. People review them. And like I said, in the statewide results celebration, we will be showing some clips of those different videos and kind of see what's going on with that. So scoring the matches, again, you're going to score your own matches. Someone other than a drive team, can be an adult or a student. Basically, you just need a knowledge of the rules and be familiar with scoring, either via laptop, tablet, phone, or paper score sheets. You can run practice matches to run through how to enter scores. Referee Bob here highly recommends doing this, just so you kind of get a feel if you're going to do it live. It does take a little bit of concentration to try to do both those things. Now, this being actual matches that are going to count toward your team's official rankings, please, once you start a match, you need to complete it, even if your robot cannot finish. If for some reason your autonomous doesn't work, or during the teleop your robot becomes disabled, you'll need to continue that and score that match accordingly. Be courageous professionals, and basically about that. Big key here, make sure your team is ready to run a match prior to starting. As we do in live events where the referees and everybody's asking everybody if they're ready, or making sure you're doing thumbs up, I recommend doing the same thing with your remote matches. Make sure that everybody in a drive team acknowledges that they are ready to go and that you're going to push the button, and the score person is clear and doesn't do that until someone gives them the official go to do that. It's very important because, like I said, these matches will count towards your official team rankings. And so therefore, we want to do our best job to do it just like it would be at a live meet. Just a couple updates. There have been Game Manual 1 and 2 updates for both the remote events. Basically, Game Manual 1 was mostly just a couple of different things about the definition of the Rev Hub. The robot rules have some minor clarifications. Nothing major, really shouldn't change anything anybody's doing to do that. And then they did do several updates to the judging information, which we will not need at this point in the season, but we will later on as we get closer to the league championship. Game Manual 2 has probably got the more, significant changes. There were a couple updates to figures in section 4.3 to clarify where the wobble goal initial placement is, basically showing that it's going to be at the very end of the start line for both wobble goals prior to when you start your event. So make sure if you're setting up, you take a look at that. Again, it's a subtle change, but again, we want to try to be as consistent as possible. Probably the bigger change is that it is allowing for a non-student to be the human player. Basically, if there's some COVID-19 guidelines that limit the number of students allowed at a remote event, you can do that, have an adult do that. The adult will be under the same restrictions, have to follow the same protocols as a student human player. So if you are asked to do that, please read what the human player is supposed to do, and more importantly, what they're not supposed to do. And as I always said, read the rules, review the forum questions and answers. There wasn't a whole lot answered in the forum since the last time we talked, mostly some minor clarifications, nothing really too good about the rules. And most of the other referee forum questions were regarding clarifications of a traditional event to do that. So that's all that I've got to talk about today. So I really would like to open this up to everybody to have a chance to ask questions, clarifications, issues you're having, things you want to know about. To do that, we have the experts online as well. So we'll try our best to get you a good, solid answer to what we're doing. So if anybody has any questions, you just go ahead. It looks like Boss is clapping his hands. So I don't know if he's raising his hand or
Go
whatever.
ahead, Boss.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I meant to raise my hand. I'm not sure how that happened. Do you know how many teams we have signed up for the meet this week?
So far, like I said, as of this morning, there was 12 teams signed up. Pretty much all across our league, various different teams. So yeah, so far there's been 12 teams sign up. I guess that's one other thing. If your team hasn't signed up yet, it's not too late. With the remote event being all week, if you want to sign up midweek after you've made a huge breakthrough with building your robot, that's fine. And if you have any trouble with that, again, let us know. We should be able to correct that. I'm not aware of any restrictions on that. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Anybody else, any questions, comments, interesting stories to tell about their robot? They've been doing. Oh, somebody else has got to have a question.
Quiet
Can't
crowd.
have it. Yeah. Quiet crowd.
Dan Kinzer.
Yes. You said something about the new starting line. I thought you could also have it on the robot itself. That it was.
Yes. Yes, that is, you can do that. Again, it needs to be touching the robot or on the robot. I'm not sure. I think the thing was just a minor detail. I wouldn't worry too much about it. Please remember to preload one and only one wobble goal. And the other one, the placement is for the second one. Basically, it's going to be at the end of the start tape. So one of them will be either touching or preloaded on your robot. The other one will be sitting on the start line. And again, it doesn't matter which start line your robot wants to start on. That's up to you. And just make sure that the other wobble goal is sitting at the end of the start line per the figure to do that. All right. Anyone else? Questions? Tim?
Hey, Bob, I got a question regarding dropping the wobble goal over the wall.
Yes.
Is that, that seems to be a common strategy? Is that going to be a problem in the future?
No, yeah. Basically, they just say you can drop it, and really, it's the only caution they do is depending on what surface you're on, making sure you're not quote kind of throwing it down. Again, just a drop. There's no real things other than if it looks like you might damage the floor. And I think pretty much any place where they've got a floor that's somewhat delicate, they'll probably want to protect it. But no, it's just basically dropping it over is perfectly legal to do that. You are exempted from the reaching outside of the playing field with your robot rule to do that, to drop it. The only thing that you can't do is you can't then try to put rings onto your wobble goal once it is outside the playing field. So if you're going to put rings onto your wobble goal, you need to do that in the field of play, and then basically drop the wobble goal outside of that. So that should not.
My question was about possibly damaging game elements and that being a penalty. I guess that's sort of the way this game is designed, to drop that thing outside.
Yeah. And I think, the wobble goals are fairly tough. Like I said, as long as you're not, pushing an arm to do a slam dunk with it, I think, pretty much normally just lifting up over the wall and releasing it, from 12, 18 inches shouldn't be any problem at all, I wouldn't think. Again, I'd be lenient with, as long as it's clear the team is just dropping it, that's there. And again, the wobble goals seem pretty sturdy, so I think we shouldn't have too many problems with that.
Okay, great, thanks.
Okay. All right.
Just adding that it probably shouldn't be a projectile. The goal is to not throw it, but again, it's some amount of momentum being imparted to it. If I'm seeing that, as long as it's clear that the team is just trying to quote drop it, that's what we're looking for. Is the team's trying to drop it as opposed to throw it. That's kind of where as a referee, I would draw the line between doing that. And again, it's about safety, and you don't want to be flinging things in an area people aren't expecting stuff to be headed. Because hopefully at some point we'll be doing in-person events, and that will be the wall that faces the audience. So, we got to keep that in mind, and there'll be some field personnel that will probably be in that general area as well for a live event. Okay. All right. Any other questions, comments, ideas, cool things you're doing? So everybody's robots are all ready to go. Everything's done. You've been practicing all week. Score hundreds of points every match. Score points every match.
I guess
at least.
we'll see next Thursday, right?
Yeah, we'll see. So I will kind of monitor throughout the week, and if you do, see some things, I'll let you know. Like I said, I haven't heard much other than I do know there's teams that are doing some different things, and seen some videos posted out on YouTube. Lots of teams picking up rings and shooting them. A lot of unique ways to pick up the wobble goals. I've seen lots of different things. I've seen some arms. I've seen some kind of just basic lifting mechanisms. Looks like they're running a gamut of things. So there's lots of interesting ideas of stuff to do out there. So keep looking. Anybody else? Questions, comments? I'm sure do that. I don't need to talk the whole time. I hear from everybody else to see what they're doing.
Quiet crowd.
Yeah, it is quite the quiet crowd. Do that.
Make a last call here.
Yeah, like I said, I don't want to keep anybody if they're got things to do today, but at any rate, I'll ask definitely good luck to everybody this week. If you have questions or issues, please let us know. We'll get in touch with you and set some stuff up. Like I said, with the remote events, we're not going to have the same, as it's in-person event where you can get some help or whatever, but we're going to try to mimic that by having our quote office hours in the evenings. Again, you don't need to wait till the evening to email that email address, and I'll send the presentation out to everybody to do that. And go ahead and do that. And if you during the day you think, wow, I could use some help in the evening, let us know. That way we can work on setting up a time with you and do that. And like I said, we'll have the experts on pretty much any subject from rules and how to use the software to everything to robots and everything in between. So like I said, we've got a good group of folks that are able to support that this week and do that. So if there's no more questions, I will let everybody go. And like I said, good luck this week. Good score.